Good morning, do 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 do. Good morning, do 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 do. I don't know. Will we get a copyright claim for that? Because seeing that YouTube is becoming so strict, you know, maybe even just my cover of that of that. Is it the Kanye West song? Yay song, a yay song. It's a yay song. Don't get it twisted like anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, hello to you. You are tuned into the Wednesday podcast called the Wednesday Warm-Up. I'm your host, Lee, and I'm joined by my trusty psychic. He's over here weighing in at 155 pounds. Jesse Hendricks. Dum 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 dum. Turn down for what?
Good morning, Lee. Thank you so much for that intro. Yeah, no, coming in at about 50 kgs.
It's an improvement from COVID, ne?
You know what?
Maybe like 1 or 2 kilograms, a little bit higher.
You know, still trying to donate blood, but unfortunately still can't.
We really want to, guys. We promise we really want to, but it's a bit of a problem.
And the first time I ever donated blood was here at the church, right?
Oh, you actually made it.
Yeah, there was a time where I was like 55 kgs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I think I had diarrhea for that week. And then,
and you couldn't.
Yeah. I did. But then I fainted. While I was on the bed, I fainted. So, yeah. It's rough in these streets. I'm not going to lie. But luckily, I had the gents around me at that point in time. The needle was in. I fainted, and they say my arm started going up like this with the needle in me. And so they had to try and they saw I was strong.
Yeah. You say
supernatural.
It was you and the nurse.
3 gents, literally. 3 gents they were pulling. It was Dante and I can't remember who was the other gent.
You say,
but they were saying.
No, but
after when I came back, they say, "Yeah, bruh, I didn't know you're so strong."
No, but they say skinny people have malkrag. So
yeah, we do.
I mean, you know, so
don't
mess with us.
Yeah, we'll go with that, guys.
Hoe mare, hoe sterker.
Yeah. And then we've got another skinny. Now you're working it, Mr. X Xavier X Hendricks, your boy.
Solve X.
Hello Xavier, how are you doing?
Good. What's happening?
You tell me. Have you ever donated blood?
No. I was always under the thing.
That time.
And I'm bang.
That time, man is almost 40.
I've never been over 55, ever.
Yeah, you on your way also.
I've never been over 55. Since school I've been
I have not a chicken certificate at home.
Since school I've been 53, 54.
Yeah.
Just see.
Maybe you need to be a little bit okay.
Nah,
and now, I mean, if you are familiar with the Inside Show podcast, then you would know that voice that you heard there, baby, you know?
Yeah.
We've got
and
Anka.
Only one person can say baby.
Yeah, only one person can call
Don't
X baby.
Don't be jealous.
And that
what? I wouldn't want to call him X baby.
Wish you could.
Don't gel up on top.
You wish you
Yeah,
had a
man.
husband like
He
mine.
actually called me baby. Say baby bro.
Yeah.
You wish you had a husband like mine.
Good
No,
morning.
I don't. Because I'm a man. Like, I have a wife.
Are you
He
sure?
really
You say
doesn't.
something, YouTube will cancel you again. Because now you can't say, I love women. Why not? Because you must love everyone.
No, you can't say you love women.
You
You must say you
must
love
love
a
everyone.
woman. Because you married.
Exactly, Chess. Thank you
But
for
what
that.
is a woman?
But
I don't know, ask Matt.
Anka, do you mind saying hello first? Hello, please. Yes, hello.
Someone just
Hello,
start
come in,
talking.
hello, roll. Always on
All
my
I'm
show,
say-
you just want to roll.
All I'm saying is they
Anka.
picked the fight. I just showed up. They were ready in the ring. Because net so.
I told
Hello,
you.
everybody.
Last week I told you Karen's in the building.
She back.
How do you speak the fight? Wow.
She back.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's Anka, aka Karen.
Karen Hendricks.
And we are so glad to have the two of you on. We've got a triple Hendrix thread here this morning. So
Watch
here
out.
I
Yalinus,
stand in my corner. I'll just be the referee because it might be needed. But let's start, Jess. We're going straight into markets. Today's topic for just hi everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so that you can be part of the Insights FAMO. FAMO, Zakes, remember FAMO.
Big facts.
Throwback.
You won't
FAMO,
get copyright
FAMO,
strike
FAMO,
for that.
FAMO.
It's my
First,
song.
I just
You
want
must
to
get
say,
copyright strike
I just
for
want
that.
to say, like, that was the song among the kids.
Yeah,
Yes,
bruh.
see, you just hear kids in the car, you driving, FAMO. They even knew Yazaya's part. That's how
They knew Yazaya's
dedicated they were.
verse.
So for those of you who don't know, Xavier and Anka actually have a music video. Hey, we're sitting with celebrities
out.
here,
Oh my
man.
God.
3,500 views.
It's on the Hendrix
Oh
family,
my
ne?
God.
The Hendrix family channel. So I'm putting a plug out there. I'm plugging you guys. How is that?
There's 3,500 views.
The Hendrix family. Please go and like the Hendrix family. Jess, have you guys changed your name yet?
Yes.
Okay, so you also have a YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel
It's
name?
now Living With Us.
Living with Us.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
That must be fun.
LWU.
Hey, yeah. Lou.
Uncle Lou.
So Living With Us is Jesse and Kaylin and Saint's YouTube channel. And then we've got Xavier, Anka, Ava and Taya, and their YouTube channel is called The Hendrix Family. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we will be closed during December. Me.
So you can go watch our channel.
The Inside Show. So you guys can either omnibus the podcasts, you know what I'm saying? So just like watch it, like
Every
do a
Sunday.
binge,
Omnibus.
like, you know, do a binge watch on the shows that you've missed out on. And interact, you know what I'm saying? And then, or you can go watch The Hendrix Family, or you can go watch Living With Us, or you can just check us out on our social media platforms. So we're just saying that to let you know that the Inside Show will be closed during December. But don't worry about it. We are still here. We are still interacting with you, and we will interact with you on social media. So please do DM us. That's at _insights_show on Instagram and on Facebook. Jess, get us into the comments before we go into the markets, if you don't mind,
Okay,
please.
no stress,
We've
no
got
stress.
the girl. Yes, when last have I seen you? Laura Lee.
I almost said
Hi,
Laura
girl. Good morning
Hey,
to
girl.
you. She says that song still slaps.
Yes.
Sakes
Whoop,
and Anka,
Major
famo.
fact alert.
And
Laura
she
Lee, I
greeted
hope
saying
that you are
famo.
well. Yeah, she did greet saying famo, actually. So she is part of the famo. We love to see you, and we hope that you are doing well, Laura Lee. Just markets, my bro. Let us get into this. Let us talk the things
Okay.
that need to be spoken about.
So first things first, in the US we had midterm elections. So with the Senate seats, it's 50 seats that's up for grabs, and we have the Democrats leading that by 48 to 47. Republicans are right behind.
Yo.
Then in-house we have 218 seats that's up, and then the Republicans is also the Republicans is actually leading that by 93 seats, 193, with Democrats 166. So it's still a very tight race at this point in time, I think. And yeah, we will see how things move there. And as we know, Elon bought Twitter. Elon
Walking
bought
in with a
Twitter.
sink, let that sink in.
But in order to purchase Twitter, he had to sell 3.95 billion of his Tesla stocks in order to buy Twitter. So obviously we do know that that would sink the Tesla stocks by significant amount if you bring
Yeah.
it down. And then also, since he owns Twitter, you need to now pay to have a
Blue check.
a blue tick, yeah. So if you want your blue ticky, you need to pay.
You ain't so verified now, huh?
And the man is firing people left, right, and center, doing
Sure.
the things that needs to be done.
Yo.
And then,
It's interesting how he fires them, though.
hey,
How is he firing them?
He sends them a picture saying, "You are fired."
oh, yeah. He's special, eh? He's really special. I can't wait till he comes back to South Africa. But yeah, moving on.
Wishful thinking.
If you never heard, last week it was announced that you can now pay at Pick and Pay with Bitcoin.
Yo.
So you can purchase
Oh,
things
so
with-
it's now a thing. I heard about it, but I thought it's
Yeah.
just speculation that it's gonna
Nah,
happen.
it's a thing.
Oh my gosh.
It's a thing. Because
real thing, I mean,
cryptocurrency has been thingied by the FSCA in South Africa. So it's been deemed as something that you need to basically put tax in and all that stuff. So yeah, and
Good
then
news and bad news.
basically,
Okay.
the reason being is there's a lot of scams happening through the crypto world, so they had to regulate it. And then
Topic alert.
yeah, Amazon is trying to come to SA. They're trying to set up headquarters. It comes with positive and negative. So the positive is they got the go-ahead in court because they were in high court trying to get it because not apparently, the indigenous people were actually fighting it. They didn't want it because where they want to set up head office in Cape Town is actually on a heritage site. So
You
the
see now.
indigenous
You
people,
see
that's
now.
why I say,
Can
bittersweet.
y'all seen?
So yeah,
You are messing with my
So
people,
can't they go
man.
and set it up somewhere else?
Hey, clearly they want that spot.
But
So
why are these big corporations like this, huh?
No idea.
Why? No, we need to fight
Man, go
for
set it
our
up
right.
somewhere else.
Yeah, so it comes bittersweet where the indigenous people lost that case. So Amazon is going ahead and they will be setting up their headquarters in Cape Town.
I'm just glad to say that I've never supported Amazon.
Hey, it's not nice, but at the same time, it's good for the economy also. So
It's good for the
not good,
economy,
but it's not good.
at the expense of people's livelihoods.
True.
A generation,
So-
a people that has been oppressed for hundreds of years and
Yeah.
continues to be oppressed.
Like there's not other space. So
Exactly.
we have how much land mass in the entire South Africa?
So yeah, that's the sad news there. And then yeah, we had the Metaverse conference. That was what, 2 weeks ago, if I'm not
Kan nie
mistaken.
verstaan.
So Meta had a whole conference where they released their new goggles and the whole metaverse things
Oh.
that they have in store for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're planning on dropping that real soon. If you go on YouTube, you'll see a few YouTubers. They had the privilege of getting stuff before it released, and they've been testing it out and all that stuff. It's a real thing. it's a thing. So people are happy about it. A lot of people aren't happy about it. So it's a matter of if it will take off or not. But personally, I feel like it will. We've seen it with online shopping back then. Everyone was bang for online
Yeah.
shopping. No one wanted to do online shopping. They say it's a scam. It's too much things to it, and now everyone's just doing online shopping. So personally, I feel like it's gonna be a slow process, but eventually people will catch on and they will take to it.
We're speaking about scams, right? And it's a nice segue to go into that because people do, although we are skeptical about it, like you were saying, people slowly but surely start adopting
Yeah.
these new methods, these new ways of living, like with the online shopping kind of a thing that you were saying. And now we've got a situation where Meta's introducing their gadgets to make the metaverse so much more real for all of us. But don't you think now with the advent of, well, not really the advent, but the fast increase, the rapid increase of social media and basically living online, that people will actually be more susceptible to buying into it faster than in the past? Because remember with the Internet of Things, when it was first introduced, it was like, that's scary to be on there. But now people don't even second guess it anymore. Even like starting a new account, online shopping, you can literally, any online shop that you see that you like things, you don't even question, is this legit or not?
People used to be skeptical about putting in your, the number on your bank, on your card, and also on your credit card, and then
The CVV
obviously on the
number.
back you have to put that
CVV.
the
CVV.
CVV number and all of that, because once you put that in, they technically have access to your account basically. So people used to think like, what if I put this in and they swipe my account, or what if this and what if that? And then obviously when people started getting used to the idea of, okay, right now this thing works, there's nothing sketchy about it, I can trust it. And also I think people also feel like if it's a trusted company, like companies who already made their names, like in South Africa, Takealot has become like the local Amazon.
Yeah.
So in the beginning people were like, ooh, this thing, I don't trust it, because people would gravitate naturally to trust American companies because those were like, they've been around for a long time. You see it on the movies and things, so you kind of
Have
feel
that trust.
okay with it. It's like, okay, now I've seen this
Yeah.
logo before, so I trust it. Like DHL and what's that black one? The one with the black and gold logo.
Up UPS.
Yeah, UPS. UPS and stuff.
Ups.
Because you see it on the movies, you see it whatever, so you tend to kind of there's a subconscious trust that you have towards it. So when Take a Lot came, people were like, and then when more people are like, oh no, my thing came, I ordered this on Take a Lot and it worked, and influencers started saying, oh no, my Take a Lot package came, and this, then people are like, okay, so this Take a Lot thing does work, let's give it a shot. Then people started trying it out, and obviously it worked. But I think so that's what kind of made people used to it. And so getting back to Jesse's point with the Amazon thing, I mean what do you call this thing, the metaverse and all that kind of stuff. I think in the beginning people are like, nah, what is this, how does it work, and this. But then if it does start catching, it's also a 50-50. Sometimes it catches on and people vibe with it, sometimes it just never really gets to that point where people actually catch on to it. People are like, it kind of picks up and then it drops off. But I think where the metaverse will work is with the Zoom meetings, because I was watching the review of I think Marcus did a review where they sit like this and they do a virtual boardroom and you can put your goggles on. And I think where metaverse is getting it right now is, I was telling Jesse yesterday, if you watch that video, continued watching that same video, they can redo your whole face and reconstruct your face on the metaverse and then show your real face as opposed to an avatar or like a cartoon version of you. So the same way your face scans on your phone to unlock your iPhone and whatever else, it's basically that technology. So it scans your face, it reads the bumps in your face, and it reads your eyes and whatever else. The same way your phone unlocks, and then it makes like a version of your face. Then it puts the skin tone on and whatever else, so it looks like a real face. So if you're wearing your goggles in this thing and you're having a meeting, then you can see the people how they actually look. So I think that's something dope, like having a Zoom meeting with the goggles on, like you like in that world.
Not to live your life on that platform.
Not. I mean, there's the argument. People are living online anyway.
That's the thing.
But that's what I also been saying. Like we say, people's gonna live. Yeah, the gamers and stay in their room the whole day already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what is the percentage of the rest of the world? I'm just saying.
That's another thing.
Compared to gamers.
Yeah, I understand that, but at the end of the day, it's not to say everyone is also gonna get addicted to it in terms of that. It's the same like people play games, but they're not addicted to gaming like our gamers are. So it
Yeah.
can be the same thing in terms of that.
But speaking about influencers and the influence that influencers have on the general public, like you were saying, it's people are so much more susceptible to buy into a new
If they see
concept
someone
if
they
they see
know,
someone they know, or
vibe,
somebody, not even somebody
Someone
they
they
know.
trust.
Not even somebody they trust, but just somebody that has influence. If they see these people online, right, and they see them promoting stuff, they are more prone to buy into the product or the service that's being sold. Speaking of which, Kim Kardashian recently had she's been in a number of online scams. We know how it is, right? She's been embroiled in a number of online scams. And I read this one article not too long ago that says that Kim Kardashian, it was on CNBC, and it says that Kim Kardashian pays over $1 million to settle SEC charges linked to a crypto promo on her Instagram. Kim Kardashian agreed to pay more than $1 million to settle SEC charges for failing to disclose a payment she received for touting a crypto asset on Instagram. She also agreed not to promote crypto assets for 3 years and will cooperate with an ongoing investigation. It says here that Kardashian had already gotten heat from regulators and investors over the June 2021 post. So she posted something about, and that I've actually seen a lot of even local influencers posting about cryptocurrency and stuff like that. But what with Instagram, you have to put there if it's a paid promotion or if it's a paid partnership or whatever. And she didn't disclose that. So obviously she got a hefty sum from this company to promote the cryptocurrency, the crypto asset that she received.
What difference does it make though?
So that you can see that it's a biased post. So that is why
promoting it because I'm getting paid.
So that is why you need to put it out there, because a lot of people, what they've been doing in the past is that they are promoting, they are getting, that you get a PR pack influencers get PR packs, especially if they're on the PR list of a company. They get the PR packs and then they, let's say for instance, a makeup influencer. And then they do the makeup and stuff like that. And they're like, I absolutely love this product. Sales rocket for that brand, but it's a crap product. So
they're not saying they're getting acne and
exactly
things are going anti.
After that video, they wipe him off. Then they put
Immediately.
on their own makeup.
Exactly. So that is the reason why, just to eliminate that bias, just to make sure that the marketing is like the marketing practices or the advertising practices are fair.
That's why people will say, I'm not getting paid for this. I really do like this product,
Yes.
Because it's obviously biased if you are getting paid.
So it's a good thing to see that there are regulations in place for this. But do you think that even with the regulations, we are still more susceptible to getting scammed? Even if you put the disclaimer
That's
that...
why I'm asking, what difference does it make? Because people, if they follow someone genuinely, like let's say for Rushana Isaacs,
Yes.
doesn't matter what she posts and doesn't matter what she says.
Yes.
People genuinely follow her because they like her. So
Yeah.
whatever she posts, she'll even say it's I am being paid for this and whatnot. But people will go buy it just
Yeah.
because she used it on one of her posts.
So here's the thing, with scamming, it becomes tricky. I told you to watch a thing yesterday, but it was short notice to watch it. There's a channel online called Pierogi. I don't know if you've seen him.
The guy
That guy that like
the Indian
catches the scammers and things, yeah. So basically what he does is he sits in his room, and this is literally what he does for a living. And he has a lot of South African followers, because when he goes live, you see all that like South African flags there. So he sits in his room and he acts like an old lady, because especially the Nigerian scammers and the Indian scammers.
Oh, I watched
They try
something.
to-
Did you show me or did you show me?
I probably
You showed me
because I
one.
used to
I
watch it,
watched
yeah.
one video, yeah.
So they prey on the older people, because the older people are more susceptible to just trusting things.
And they
you'll
don't
be
really know
surprised.
technology. They
Yeah,
don't understand.
And you'll be surprised how the Umas get caught, eh? I know personally of a Uma that was caught trying to look for love by a Nigerian.
Yep.
And she was sending us some money, bro.
And
when they told me
sorry
about
to cut you
catfish.
off, all the
real.
people is into coupons and
Yeah.
gift cards and stuff like that.
Gift
So
cards
that's
and
how
all
they
that.
catch them,
So-
the older people.
So that's when the person that told me about the Uma, I was like,
Yeah,
"Are you
in
serious?"
South- yeah, in South Africa.
In South Africa, people that we all know. I was like, "Are you serious?" That's Uma genuinely fell for the thing. He's like, "Yeah, bruh, she fell for it. She was busy sending us money and things."
Nay, man, shame.
I'm
She
like,
asked for more money. She asked for more money.
and she was
because
borrowing money to
more
send to
money.
this because she was feeling like shame. This is busy.
He
Us.
said- he
In the
said he-
meantime, that's the whole thing. When this told me, I was like, bruh, this is a scam. So I even said, go
So
watch
her
this
whole
video how they
pension
scam the
money
people.
went in there.
I know.
So the Oma was sending money, yeah. So that's why I'm saying you'll be surprised how the people you wouldn't think it, nah. But when you hear the story, you're like,
I think we just thought it was a far-fetched idea. It's maybe just in America
Yeah.
or those countries.
nah, bruh, they start in the
However,
Omas.
it being this close, in
Especially
this
on
was-
Facebook.
and people we know,
Because it's Omas
personally.
that they have Facebook and things, they get scammed in the inbox to say, "Ish, please
Yeah.
can you help me?" And
But that's a
things.
long process because they have to butter that
They
Uma
groom-
up
yeah,
first. They
it's
groom you,
called
they make
grooming.
you fall
Yeah,
in
they
love
groom.
first, then they start asking
So what
for money.
Pierogi does is Pierogi comes and he sits and he acts like, oh my, he has this thing where his voice changes
Yeah.
and whatever. So he's like, yes, sweetheart, what do you want? Nah, nah. And then he's like, hello, madam. Like he butters the Oma up. Then he's like, but what the scams are is they call it refund scams. So the scam is you bought something, so they get access somehow to the Amazon Amazon mailing list, or these big, like let's say they got access to the Take A Lot mailing list, and you ordered a laptop, and the laptop was 10,000 rand, right? And you paid and everything and whatever else. Then they say to you, the scam is intricate. It's like a very like intricate scam,
Yeah.
right? Then you say no, they sent you the wrong laptop. Then this is where the scammers now enter. I actually still don't understand how they do it. But then they say to you, ma'am, I see that you ordered a laptop. You want to take a lot. Blah, blah. Yes. The payment didn't go through. The things didn't go through. Can you please send the 10,000 rand? Then you're like, yeah, but I did send the 10,000 rand. Then they're like, yeah, it's on hold or whatever. So you sent the 10,000 already to take a lot. then you send them a 10,000, or
Yeah.
they do it somehow
So-
like that, but it's called a refund scam.
But it's the known Nigerian scam, and it's exactly how Hush Puppy got to where he got, because they hack the mailing system of the businesses, and based on that, then they email the customers to say, okay, this was the wrong account, this is the right account, you need to make the payment in this account, and that's how they scam you. But it's known, it's a known.
So do
scam.
you think it's people that work in the company, or
No.
do you just think
It's
like
guys sitting in an internet cafe? I watched a full documentary.
No,
and
it's they sitting in a.
Or
there's-
they're sitting in their house or
Yeah.
something.
Nah, but Pierogi actually managed to, because
You
come
can
I
say
tell you what?
webcams on.
Yeah, no, you know what happened? The one Pierogi knew this was a scam, right? And then he made his voice like a granny. Then he was like saying to the lady, then he was saying to the guy, so how much? This is my last pension money and blah blah blah. Then he scammed the scammer. Then he made us all feel bad. He was like, this is my last money. My husband died and blah 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 blah. Then the scammer started feeling bad for the Oma. Then the scammer was like, ish ma'am, I'll be honest with you. This thing is not legitimate. What. Then he switched that voice recognition thing off. Then he had his normal voice. Then he said, hey, listen, bruh, I'm not the old lady. I'm actually an investigator. Blah, blah, blah. Then that script, he was like, yo, are you serious? Then he told the scammer, I'm actually working with the Indian police and blah, 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 blah. If you can help me catch the scammers. Then he said, how much is this Owens paying you? Then that, bruh, it's a whole episode that he did with us. So then he said, how much is this Owens paying you? Then he's like, nah, they pay me like $100 a phone call or whatever. Then he says, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you $1,000, but I need you to help me to catch these scammers. I'll only give you this money if you help me. Then this is how he got like inside info in where they work, how they operate. Then he said, okay, come, let's go offline with us. Then he asked that, where's the office? Then it explained that there's a whole building in India where they work on the 5th floor or whatever else, and there's a whole room
Just
full
for
of
scam.
scammers. There's like about 50 scammers
it's
just
a
on it.
full-time
center.
job.
It's like a call center, yeah. And
Yeah,
every
these
scammer they
guys, yeah.
catch, they get like $100 for that scammer. So this I want sit and work. So what they do is they prey on these ladies that can't find jobs and things. Then they say, okay, come work for me. You scam people every time you get someone to pay, you get like a percentage of that payment. So that lady flopped on them. And he was like, nah, this thing is not legit. They're lying to you or what. Then he says, nah, I know. This is why I could hear, because he's in the conversation, you could hear this light. He doesn't actually want to do this. Then he flipped it, he switched that thing off and he said, listen, yeah, I can hear you don't want to do this. Come help me to catch the scammers. That's how he found out where the building is. He switched their webcams on. He gets to the point where he switches like the what do you call that, cameras in the corner, like CCTV cameras. Then he put it live, then he shows how they're walking around.
Just the day.
It's
So, going back to, because last week our live cut short, but going back to bigger scams, right? These are smaller scams, but they can end up on a
adds up,
big
yeah.
scale,
Millions, they
right?
make millions.
And I mean, and sometimes they are legitimate, not look legitimate, but they are legitimate because they work through legitimate companies.
Yeah.
Look at us, the ones they had the logos, they had the websites, they had the same writing that's on the original website.
Yeah.
Every single thing, bruh. If you went on, you would have thought, I know this is legit.
Going back to the Stay Nice scam, right? One of the biggest, well, actually the biggest financial scam that hit South Africa.
Yep.
And so we were talking about it last week, and you said that you came with new information this morning. So would you just share about that and how people, well, because I mean, how would you know? Steinhoff is a big company. It's a reputable company and it's a global company. How would you know that you were being scammed?
Well, you know, it's actually a sad case. It's not really new information because all of this information is already online. I mean, Carte Blanche did an investigation as well as the whole Showmax thing. But, I mean, this morning I was just reading up a little bit about it, and it was... There's claims for 136 billion rand from the companies that was basically scammed. However, only 18 billion rand will be then paid out, respectively, right? But not everyone is going to get the same amount. So some people will be getting 5 cents on the rand. That's very little. I mean, if I was getting 30 cents or 60 cents on the rand, I'm not even getting that. I'm getting
You
5
don't
cents.
even get the 5 cents anymore, like just... in.
Do they still exist?
No, they don't.
Like the other day, Ava came home and Ava was like, "Mommy, the teacher said I can't take this brown money to school." so, like,
What
I
was
mean,
that? The coins?
I think it was like a 20 cents or something like that. I don't know where she got it though. But
Discriminating on brown
but
money.
she's like, yeah,
The teacher's like, yeah, regal, ons is by crypto, jy kom met brown money.
The 220.
like your hard money, you know, and it's so sad because you know there were pension funds and stuff involved in this kind of stuff. So people like your average South African security guard was scammed. You know, people that already doesn't have a lot and has worked their whole life away was scammed out of that. Just for someone to have a lavish life. And the sad part about this whole thing is it's a scam that went on for 2 decades.
Yeah.
He had evaded like investigators and auditors on 4 different continents. Forensic auditors. Now this man must have been a mastermind because he knew exactly what he was doing. Because I asked an accountant, a chartered accountant the other day, how is it because of that's why you have auditors. So obviously we now know and have established that auditors aren't there to investigate. However, if an auditor is not there to find the problem, why the hell do you have an auditor? I'm just asking for a friend. Like,
I get you.
You know, excuse my ignorance, but I need to know. I need answers because yes, they're there to put measures in place, but isn't that what laws are for? Isn't that what the government regulations are for? They are there to see that those government regulations have been enforced, have been applied to whatever the accounting stuff. So basically, the accountant just explained in a very nutshell, brief way is that there's a lot of companies involved, which is why I kept on buying more companies and giving them shares.
Yeah.
Because that means that the money gets moved around a lot. So auditors don't go and nitpick each accounting transaction because it's impossible because there's so many companies involved in so many different currencies. So it's not just one currency. So what they end up doing is just end up passing reports. They do like a skim read of the transactions.
Yeah.
Do a report and that's it. And that guy just basically sweet talked his way out of it.
Interesting.
Every time there was like something, can we please have the financial report?
Yes.
No, they can't be signed off. But why can't they be signed off? Because here's our profits. So he's providing the information. Not the auditors per se.
Interesting that you should mention that because I think that's why, because I was going to ask the question, why do you think that people get scammed? Why do we keep falling? That's the question that we're asking you. Why do we keep falling for these scams? Is it because we've become so lazy to do any further research that the first thing that pops up, we read headlines. We are the headline generation, especially now. We just read headlines and we buy into it. We get a WhatsApp, what do you call this? WhatsApp broadcast message. Everybody's sending this message around. They're saying that. Then people just jump onto that. Is that why?
It literally is that because look at the CEO of the owner of Take It Down. The reason why he got into Steinhoff was at the word of Christo Visa. Because Christo Visa was doing it. That's why he didn't do his own research. Nothing. He got into it. He got away fairly unscathed though.
But were they making money in the start?
Yes.
There was money in the start, but where the scam is, right? So one of the guys that questioned, I don't know what his name is.
That's why it could go on for so long.
Yes. So basically what he was doing, there was money initially. Then he kept on, but what he did was gradually started inflating the numbers in order for you to buy into this company. But I'm not giving you money, I'm giving you shares. So
it's like a Ponzi scheme.
Yes. So I'm giving you shares, but the shares on paper is worth a lot. But in reality, they're worthless. So I took your company, that money is flowing in the company. Now there's where the money is flowing because your company is making money. However, those numbers are inflated. So it's not making the billions that was projected.
But here's the reality of the story. To answer your question, and this is the human answer to that question. Number one, times are tough. People are struggling. People are really going through tough times. So obviously, money is a thing. People are looking for, how can I make money? How can I survive? How can I just put something together that makes money? That's the first thing. So that desperation, coupled with laziness, because come on, be honest with you, this woke culture and this culture of get rich quick and everything is easy and you can just do everything on the computer and you just have to quickly put in this, and then when you come back, you put in this, and then you're gonna get money out of it, and da. That culture has has perpetuated in the lives of so many people that how can I make money quick? How can I make money now? How can I get this thing to work now? And this is part of the reason I follow that one influencer that I follow so much, because he comes out and he says, there's no such thing as now. This thing means you must work and you must struggle and you must hustle and you must fight.
And it's not just about money, it's even about
it's about
character
anything.
development.
About anything.
Ethics.
Yeah. And he said it because they were having a conversation, and so the guy asked, how can I get a six-pack quick? And his answer was, why do you want it to be quick? Why do you want it to be easy? Why do you want life to be easy? Why do you just want to put in things and press a button and then next thing you rich, you're a millionaire? And then he said, I have a problem with these crypto billionaires and these pump and dump billionaires because they got that money so quick that now they didn't, and this is the thing, there's a character that gets developed when you go through the process, when you struggle through the process, when you cry through the process, when you lose a car in the process, when you lose a house in the process, when you're hustling for electricity, when you're hustling for a loaf of bread. There's a character that's being developed there. There's a strength that's being developed. You're starting to become smarter. You're becoming wiser. There's things that you start seeing, how life operates and how life works. And so when you get to that level of success, you're a stronger person, you're a better person, you're a more well-rounded person, because you know what it's like to say, yeah, bro, I know what it's like to hustle. I know what it's like to struggle, and I don't want to go back there again. And so when you get to that, and so here's the thing, there's an element of get rich quick that people are falling into. And part of that gets perpetuated because I'm struggling, I'm hustling, I'm trying to just make money quick. And you see it, even Jesse and I are very involved in the industry, where the trading industry, right? And you see how people come and say, Ishbra, if I put in this, how much can I make back? How long will it take? When people start asking, how much can I get back and how long it will take, that already tells you that you're not interested in really going through the challenge here. You just want to get rich quick. And you just want to see, if I put in 1,000, can I get 10,000 in return? And this is why scams work.
The favorite one is, if I give you 1,000 rand, how much can you flip it for me? Or how quick can you flip it for me?
This is how pyramid schemes work. This is how all these things work.
That's why it gets sold. The other thing is, if you've worked for something, you've worked hard for something, you tend to take care of it, which means you'll think twice before you make a decision to put what you've built for so long at risk. There'll be very little chance that you'll put that at risk. However, when you get something very quick, and it's proven time and time again, Stein Heist, for goodness sake, I mean, this man was into the billions, but here he is, his assets were seized. As much as it's a conspiracy theory, I do believe he's already siphoned off a lot into offshore accounts.
Yeah, he's still a billionaire.
He's still a billionaire. But what I'm trying to say
that's why he's so...
He's living under a cloud.
Nonchalant.
Yeah, he's nonchalant about it, but he's living under a cloud. What is the quality of life that his kids are going? His wife. People are looking at, you stole our money, you stole the public's money. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You moved to Dubai, it's fine again.
We're not advocates here.
That's how it is. They just steal.
True.
Then they move to a new country, they live in that country, and life goes on.
And and even you have it's so much. And you were saying it's coupled with laziness, but I have to ask though: is it really laziness if you have to keep on covering up? Because that's hard work. Because one lie needs to cover the other lie, and you need to.
No, I'm not talking about the people who are scamming. I'm talking about the people who are falling for the scams.
Yeah.
They don't want to put in effort and
That's
work.
true.
It's just like,
But
okay,
then
if I
again-
give you this, how can I turn it
But then
around?
again, we always talk about it, and most of the times you'll find that these scammers have narcissistic tendencies, right?
They have
And so maybe to them it's not hard work; it's just
but-
part of their personality.
They're psychopaths. I went to go look up the intricate meaning and definition of
Jeffrey Dahmer.
of a psychopath and a sociopath, which is very closely linked, obviously.
Yeah, there's a spectrum.
There's a spectrum, but
See, no.
but Marcus
It all
Russo,
has to do with mental
Marcus
illness.
Russo was a psychopath. For a scam to go on that long, and remember, he's approaching people to bring in their businesses that they worked for, built up from scratch, when he knows it's a scam for 20 years to fund
But
what?
to purposely
His
harm
narcissism.
someone.
Yes,
Yes.
that must
And
be
swindle.
psychopathic.
You can't be
That is
normal.
psychopathic.
A normal
Yes.
person will feel guilty. Like that pierogi that he
Yes.
managed to switch. That like he could sense this like doesn't want
Had a
to do
conscience.
this. Yeah, there's a conscience there somewhere
Yes.
that I can work with. And when he asked that Lighty, what's really going on? Then that Lighty broke down and said, no, this thing is a scam. It's not legit. I don't want to be doing this. I'm just doing it because I need the money and blah, blah, blah. So there's a conscience, but that conscience can be breached, especially if next thing you know, 100,000 in my account. Now you're thinking, Ish. Then what your mental state starts doing, you start justifying.
Yes, it's now justified.
You start justifying, hey, but I need us 100,000. My tiny,
it becomes
this
a norm.
and that, and then it's like sin, because in that sin just eventually ends up getting like they say, a yield around it like a cone, and it gets hard, and you just get used to.
And you see, we don't
Some
only
people's
get.
feet.
She's smart. You see, we don't only get scammed financially. Sometimes we get scammed
Spiritually.
emotionally. Spiritually, we get scammed. A lot of people
Yeah.
are falling for
That's
spiritual
false
scams.
prophets.
Right? False prophets.
That's like very prevalent here.
False prophets,
Way of
cult
life.
leaders, and it's not just, we're not just talking about the Christian
Yeah.
side of things, because oftentimes when we speak about spectrum, oftentimes when dialogue is had around religious scams, it's always on the Christian end, but
Yeah.
there's right across the board, right? You will find that new age religion is a scam in and of itself.
Creepy.
It's a money-making thing as well. But it seems like there's always a money element to it, because like I said, you don't only get scammed financially, but there's
you see now.
always a money element to it. We spoke
Did the
about the
Bible not
COVID
say-
issue
Did the Bible not say that money is the root of
of all
evil?
evil.
No, the Bible
Just
didn't say
The
that.
love,
The love
of
of
money.
money.
Even that
The
where
love
they
of
go
money.
to the jungle and it's like a tea and things.
Yes.
That in itself is a scam because they
Yes.
pay a lot of money
They pay
for
a lot
that.
of money for these retreats.
Aisha, what's it?
Yeah.
Aisha.
Away,
Also, I must pay to drink tea.
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca or
Yeah,
Something
because
like
you
that.
can
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
You pay
something
gang
like
to
that.
vomit.
Yeah, yeah.
Ayahuasca.
To
But it's
have
probably just
to
shrooms,
have a
maybe.
spiritual experience, but this is where the world is going to,
Literally
and the
can't get-
darkness
Is that honey?
of what's happening around us. So, for instance, let's take for instance
Pastor
the
Xavier.
infamous COVID scam, right? And you watched. We were talking about it at length from the very beginning of Cohen. We spoke about this.
Now you want to
right?
agree with us.
And a lot of the times, people that were against this narrative and that were pushing against COVID vaccines, all these things,
We
they
were told we were
conspiracy theorists.
irresponsible. We don't care about
theorists.
people's lives.
I mean, you look at one
Conspiracy.
guy,
Vaccines.
what's his name? Novak Djokovic. He lost out on the opportunity to be the record holder for the most Grand Slams or something like that. I can't
And
remember what it
It's
was.
in his name.
Novak. Novak. And
really
he
don't
was
want
not allowed. Where was it, in Canada? Or
I
was
think it was Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
He was Australia Open. He wasn't allowed at the Australia Open
Makes sense.
this year.
Last year.
Last year.
Last year. But then when
And
he
so
came
he
and
missed out on the
boycotted,
opportunity. And he said straight, he's like, it's fine. I'm willing to
Not
Yeah.
black.
forfeit.
but now my irritation is now he came back and said, okay, guys, you have abolished now the need for, you need to show a vaccine passport.
Yes.
So now I want you to apologize to me that you didn't allow me to. So now they're shifting the blame.
Yeah.
Now they're saying, no,
Yes.
it wasn't us. It was we were just going with the guidelines we were given.
Sounds very narcissistic
I
too.
commented on Trevor
Right.
Noah's video yesterday, right? Because Trevor Noah came out with a new video yesterday, and he's like, people, there's a new strain, and the strain is saying this and this. And listen to what he says, né? So now he looks in the camera, he's like, so these strains are competing to be the best strain, but it's too late. Nobody gives a F anymore about the strains. So I commented there under, wow, Trevor, it's interesting now that you can say nobody gives a F anymore about the strains. But last year, you were busy telling people how they must go get all their booster shots and
Yeah.
how they must this and how they must this. Even Bongani Bingwa and them on
maybe
702
one
and
They
them.
were advocates.
They were advocates, bro. They were saying,
advocates.
we don't want people at our house if they don't have vaccines and blah, blah, blah. They were pushing it, shoving it down our throats.
We're willing to
were
sever
sitting-
relational
We're willing to
ties.
sever ties with people if they don't want. We were sitting here, week after week.
Amandla.
Week after week saying there's something not right with this COVID story. There's something sounding a little bit. Remember, I
Yeah.
sat in that chair and I said, why are they marketing this thing so hard? It's like
Yes.
there's a strong marketing push behind it on social media, on everything. And I said something doesn't look right. Now the new statistics came out that the countries knew that the rate of survival is over 90%. They knew it all the time.
Yeah.
They knew that the rate of a normal flu was actually worse. Remember, we even had a doctor
But
here.
Patrick,
who were pushing
David
the-
said that in the beginning when
we all said that in the
Yeah,
beginning,
but he
but
made
we
a
were
video
so
in the
scared to
beginning.
say something, and that was another thing that was suspicious to me. Why, when you say something, your video gets blocked or banned or deleted or
all
removed,
monitoring.
your comment gets taken down? It's like, and this is what Andrew Tate has been saying the whole time. He said he flew to Switzerland, or where was it? I think it was Switzerland or somewhere.
Poland.
No, man, he was somewhere.
Romania.
No, he was in a country where there was no masks, there was no mandates, there was nothing. He says, and nobody spoke about that country. There was no,
Limpopo.
no, the numbers didn't soar. There was nothing. They just carried on with life as normal. In Stockholm,
Oh yeah.
it was
That's
Sweden.
what-
Potchefstroom.
Sweden.
In Sweden, yeah. He says he flew to Sweden for the whole period of lockdown, and there was no lockdowns, no masks, nothing. He says, but why isn't mainstream talking about that?
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, when we were saying these things, we were told we're conspiracy theorists, we don't care about people's lives,
irresponsible.
we're irresponsible, and this and that. Now, this new...
That time we didn't even get sick.
We didn't even get sick. I was walking around. Me, I didn't believe in masks. I went into the shops until they forced me to put my mask on. I got flu because it was winter, and that's basically how you
No,
get
there
sick
was
and
no
whatever.
flu. You
yeah.
can't say that.
There was no flu.
For,
There
for
was
2
no.
years there was no flu.
Yeah.
Now,
Flu was the thing of
the statistics-
every single sickness and disease was non-existent.
Yeah.
Everything was
But
COVID.
now that's the problem. The statistics come out now to show that over 70% of the cancer patients died because they couldn't go and get their
Treatment.
cancer treatment because
Yeah.
everyone was just pushing
COVID.
COVID treatment. There were so many people. The rate of suicide
increase.
3 times increased.
Yeah.
Because people were locked down in their houses. They were scared.
Yes.
The fear was getting the better of them and all of this. So now they're saying that Fauci should be charged with mass
Genocide.
genocide.
Yes.
Because he forced this thing on the world.
Yes.
And he knew the facts. He knew that what he was purporting was a lie. He knew it for a fact it was a
Yes.
lie. But he pushed it and shoved it and told everyone to lock down and this. And our stupid government also just took everything. No, the CDC says we must do this. The CDC says we must do. The facts are showing the opposite. But the CDC says, no, you must do this. you must
Fauci
do
was backpedaling on so
They
much,
were
literally on
flipping. You need this.
everything
No,
that he
you don't
was
need it.
saying, and then it's a scammer, typical scammer. You keep
They have
having
the
a
same
narrative.
traits.
You keep knowing how to.
We were
That's when
calling
they
that
say,
thing a
"Jerry,
scam,
jy het
damn it."
'n antwoord vir alles." That's a scammer. If somebody has an answer
And
for
confidently.
everything,
When we were saying it's a
Confidently as
scam, we were told, no, you're being irresponsible.
Yes.
People are dying outside. I even went as far as to say, I feel some type of way about the hospitals.
Yes.
Because why, when a perfectly healthy person goes in there, they
They-
don't come out?
Alive.
For a thing that has a 97%
Survival
survival
rate.
rate. How is the people going in and not coming back?
Yes.
And how do you trust someone that's Fauci in there?
just see,
Listen
bro.
to that Fauci.
Yeah,
Can't
it's in
trust
the
that.
name.
Sounds so
Yeah,
scammer.
no. And the thing is, like, and also another thing is
Foul.
what-
Foul. He's foul play. It's Fauci.
Exactly, Fauci. He's very foul. And with the vaccines, right? There was also speculation around that. That remember that one epidemiologist that came out and he was like, guys.
The gynecologist that came out.
Yeah, when he said, how
epidemiologist
can
saying
you,
it's
how
like
can we force the world to take something that doesn't have tests behind it,
Yes.
it doesn't have research, proper research
And he
behind
was
it?
saying you cannot do a mass rollout of a vaccine during a pandemic. Throughout history, it's been proven that you only start implementing vaccination
When the
when the
numbers
numbers
drop.
have dropped. Because the minute you do it, that is what's causing the variants.
But we had family members who are in the medical industry that said that from the beginning. First of all. Second of all, the other day, people were sending things in this group. We have this community group chat. And then this lady was sending like, how does this affect our policies? Because I think it was Pfizer that came out and said they never tested
Yeah,
it.
yes,
So
it was them.
how does this affect our policies and stuff like that? I'm thinking, my guys, they were fighting with us.
Yes.
Because we didn't want to go get vaccinated because we were being irresponsible.
Yes.
Right? They were fighting to stand in lines, in queues at places to book, to get
Vaccination. And I mean, we were standing on top of each other. There we could mass gather. In queues.
Yeah, there we could manage.
Me from day one, I knew this thing was a lie, bro.
People were willing to
From
pay.
day one.
I mean, people where we were saying, because we needed an emergency test, PCR test, because I needed to leave because my father was sick, right? They wanted to charge us 1,500 rand for a PCR test.
Now ask the question, who made money off it?
Who made money?
Yeah.
Big Pharma made, I think, something like $3 trillion. $3 trillion, bruh, of selling vaccines to the countries
and no one was
all
asking
of us.
questions.
Yes.
Everyone was, no, you must get it, you must get it. And when people were saying, guys, so you are vaccinated, why must I go get vaccinated? That means you're safe.
Yes.
Our very own president was part of that scam. 500 billion rand.
Which disappeared
Up until now, we can't account for it.
before the
You tell me about a scam, bruh.
Yeah.
A scam where the survival rate is over 97%. And you
then you ask
made
the
the world
question-
believe there is something wrong with him. Hi, bro.
How do we ever win? Because even against our own will, when we say no to these things, how do you win?
But that's the problem. So the problem is the world is becoming communist, right? And especially the woke mob is very communist. They say, no, we must believe everyone and we must listen to everyone and everyone must have an opinion. And
Under
this
the
and that.
guise of liberalism.
Yeah, because liberal, but what
But
they
they're very
actually mean is,
communist.
we want to be liberal
Yes. And you can't.
and you can't.
Yeah. Autonomy for a few.
Autonomy only for us.
Yes.
If we decide we want to be a man or a woman, it's fine for us. But
Yes.
if you disagree with it, there's something wrong with you.
You can't
So
believe in your...
It's kind of the whole argument is one-sided, so
Yes.
which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But again, who's making trillions of that scam?
What?
The transgender scam.
Yes. It's also...
Bruh,
Hospitals.
someone sat and recorded the talk that they were giving at the hospitals to say, look here, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We must force the children to say they women and they men. You know how much money they make off that operation.
And not just the operation, the treatment after, because remember you have to go for constant hormones.
You must go for
have to-
you become a chronic patient, boss.
Yes.
Basically.
They make you a chronic patient from the time you are born. You know how much money they're making. Matt Welsh exposed that thing. In fact, on my show, we showed the videos of someone. They didn't know someone was sitting and recording it.
Your show is called The Scam That Is Woke Culture.
Yeah. They
they
didn't know
was
someone was
recording.
sitting and recording it. Where they said, you know how much billions are we making of this? Come, let's force the children to believe that they're actually women. Come, let's force them to believe
And you
they're
must.
actually
I
men.
always ask if especially the media. Remember, Candace Owens exposed it in the Black Lives Matter movement, where she was saying, like, in the words of Malcolm X, that the media has the power to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. So my thing is, I've become very skeptical about the media. When I see something,
Become.
especially from mainstream media, I'm like, what
Especially
is-
when they're
I
forcing it
always-
so.
You know, it's almost like you've got PTSD now, that you don't trust anybody anymore. You constantly what do you call it when you suspect everybody? You this suspicious person, and when I get this like influx of information from mainstream media, I become
All saying the same thing.
super exactly.
Hi.
I become like super skeptical, and that's the reason why even with the situation with the Democrats and the Republicans, most liberals are obviously democratic, right? And now I question the democratic agenda, because you find that the Democrats support these big corporations that support movements
That support
like
murdering children, that support raping children,
exactly
that support all these
grooming of
Grooming
kids.
kids.
Disney for one.
Disturbing.
Disney
Yes,
for one.
they're
It's a
supporting
big
it.
thing.
They're not only supporting it, they're advocating
And
for
my
it.
thing is, if you are forcing this thing, because it's literally a force, because there's a lot of people that are like, I saw this one guy did an interview. In fact, the host of the Gab Fest, Evangelique, she sent me something on Instagram where this guy goes around and he's asking questions and he's asking people, normal Americans on the street, he's like, do you trust Disney? Majority of people are saying no. They're like, we don't trust Disney anymore. We used to love Disney. We grew up with Disney. But now that Disney's pushing this woke agenda, it's irritating. It's like this one person said, I'm not even Christian or I'm not even religious. In fact, I'm atheist.
this
But it's
forcing
irritating.
of this agenda is like,
why must you keep forcing this thing? We don't want it. Just give us good entertainment that kids will enjoy. Why are you trying to groom kids?
But now
'Cause
there's a
that's
thing that says
grooming.
go woke,
It's
go
grooming.
broke, because a lot of people are, and that's part of the reason Republicans are starting to win now here. And the Democrats are scared of it because they
You
know
see these big corporations, like I've even seen like with Vodacom, like how they also, and look, It's your policy. You do what you want to do. But now you are advocating for a minority group and you're making your entire branding. You are rebranding yourself for a minority group. Screw the rest of the majority. Do you really think that's profitable?
But it doesn't work because as much as the majority is quiet, they vote with a pocket and they vote with a feet.
Yeah.
You just start seeing this
Hasn't
company
gone anymore.
is not, people are not watching these movies. And Marvel had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
People didn't they didn't say anything. They didn't boycott it. They didn't say, we're not going to go watch it. You just saw the movie didn't make it on a box
Yo.
office.
Didn't,
Because
because
people
what
just
happened-
felt like,
They were advertising the Thor movie, but it never got anywhere.
No.
No one said anything about it.
even Wakanda, if you think about it, it doesn't have the
Most-
same like excitement that it used to have.
The Woman King, for instance, right? I know that with that, like a lot of people were very excited about it because it's, female empowerment and stuff like that. But actually, at the box office, it didn't do as well as what many of these movies are not doing as well as what. I mean, big money is going into this, but they
What we
flopping.
must also take into account is that sometimes something is made to look like people are excited when it's really just a big marketing scam.
Yes.
So if I've got people, and this is why companies pay influencers and stuff like that. So if they've got people just advocating and just saying here and there, it looks like it's exciting and people are excited when it's just a select few of people that is making a hype and a noise about it.
So that brings us to the end of this show. Thank you so much for your input. Thank you so much for those of you who watch. And then we've got Tolo X also here. This was early on in the show. And Tolo is saying that, good morning, everyone. I will check out the song. It's that song, Famo, right?
Fast.
Thank you so very much. But in closing, do you have anything to say? Oh, yes, one more thing before we go. I don't know, did you guys see that? What is it? What's his name? Matthew Booth that cheated on his wife.
The South African.
Goalkeeper.
Goalie.
Yeah.
Matthew Booth wasn't a keeper, guys.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
Wasn't he?
The
Booth
tall
was
white
a
guy.
defender, wasn't he?
Wasn't he a keeper?
He was a keeper.
Yeah.
Was Booth a keeper?
Yeah, brother,
Yes.
tall white guy.
Nah, no Booth.
Oh, yes,
But
I saw
don't
that.
think Booth was
Late
a
on the trend.
Yeah, he was.
keeper. Oh.
Yeah.
But apparently it's been going on for some time, isn't it?
Yo, but his wife, she exposed the scam. She exposed the scam. So what she did was she suspected him for a long time, and then she got a PI, a private investigator. You see, these are the kind of people that were like, you are not gonna scam me. It's how your waist. So she got a PI, and she started following him around. The PI started following her around and stuff like that, and she started documenting all the things now. And then she says one day with her son's, long story short, with her son's birthday, Matthew Booth always makes cheesecake. So one day late at night he made cheesecake. So she thought, okay, fine, he's going to make cheesecake for my son's
Oh, that's
birthday.
why Lori
Because my
says
son,
it's just about cheesecake and Tupperware.
because apparently my son, he says my son loves, she says my son loves cheesecake. So we thought, okay, it's late at night, he's making cheesecake or whatever. Man's is gone, Tupperware, cheesecake gone. The man's is gone on a business trip on the son's birthday with the cheesecake and the Tupperware.
Come on now.
Anyway, she's like,
Cheesecake scam.
hectic. We are not the cheesecake scam.
Never
It's
think
the
you get
Tupperware
caught with the
scam.
cheesecake. Yeah.
It's the Tupperware scam. So anyway, so she says that she finds out who the lady is. She contacts the lady's husband, right? This lady's
So she's
married.
also married.
Yeah, she's married to a elderly white man. I'm not going to say old. I'm going to say elderly white man.
Mature white.
Right? Mature white man. And apparently he's also fairly wealthy or whatever. And so she calls the husband and she says, listen, I don't know, are you aware that your wife? And he's like, yeah, I am aware. I've asked her many a times to stop. Blah, 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 blah. She's like, okay, I want to expose this. I'm going to expose it on social media. Do I have your permission? Man's is like, you've got my blessing. Go ahead, do best. She says, oh, one more thing. Is my Tupperwares by your house? Because I got some Tupperware missing up in here. He's just so, it's your Tupperware. Yeah, it's your. She says she fetches it.
Talk
She
about it,
places-
Tupperware people.
She places the Tupperware where Matthew Booth normally parks so mans can see when he comes home. Crap, I've been caught. So then
I
people
lost
are making
evidence.
memes, People are making memes, especially it's like colored mothers marking their Tupperware with the Q-tex so that you know this is my
real?
property.
This is my Tupperware.
Do you know the price? Does he know the price of Tupperware? I'm just putting it out there.
And then she said, she's like, this girl thinks that Matthew Booth is bowling. Can't he? This man has been tapping into a son's education policy all these years to keep up with the
Exposure.
Mutsepes. So exposure. So maybe we should be exposing these scammers. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, closing remarks for you.
I know me, I said enough.
Yeah, I said my seds.
You said your says, Jess?
If it's too good to be true, chances are it's not true.
Facts.
Done.
And it's not so good either.
It is too good to be true.
And then also closing remarks, but you guys can go read up on it. Remember we had the twins up in here, the Tulsi twins. And yeah, we're bringing that up again. We were a bit fearful about it because they did get parole. The terrorist twins. They were called, they were literally called the terrorist twins.
They were called the terrorists.
Were they here at the show?
No.
The
We
sister
were speaking
messaged
about
us,
them, but
though.
the sister messaged us after the show and she was like,
Get your facts straight.
yeah. So we did reach out to her and we asked her to come onto the show so that we can
To help us get our facts
to get our
straight.
facts
she
straight,
doesn't
but
want to.
she blocked us and stuff like that. So, but now it comes out that the
So
U.S.
what we must-
Treasury, the U.S. Treasury has designated and sanctioned 4 individuals identified as members of an Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS, cell in Durban, South Africa, on 7 November. This was yesterday, Monday. The Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control said that the cell has been operating within South African borders and providing technical, financial, or material support to the terrorist organizations. And it's strange because we had someone on the show, on Doc's show once, that mentioned something very interesting about some very big organization
yeah, I
that
actually
people
remember that.
support wholeheartedly under the guise of. But anyway, let's not get into that because just now I brought my bag for bye. But when the story comes out, just know you heard it here first. And on that note, that's why you must tune into the Inside Show. We spill
Yeah.
the tea here. And many
Juicy
a times, you almost like prophetic, I must just admit. Because when we speak about something, then it always comes out like a couple of weeks or months later. I mean, I don't want to boast. I don't want to brag. But I'm going to brag. So thank you so much, everybody. Love you so much. Until next week. Bye.
I'll be giving you a gift for Christmas.
Ooh.